This year, the A's story got bigger, and it got closer.
I am really confident about the success of the A's here.
In Vegas, the stadium groundbreaking.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
Big League Weekend brought the noise.
Soon-to-be Las Vegas A's put on an offensive display.
Top pick Jacob Wilson is signed.
Made it an easier decision to be able to go out there knowing we have a special squad that's going to do great things here in the future.
And fans got the full A's experience up close.
Kids, families are going to love it.
While the Aviators brought home a PCL championship. And on the field, Kurtz goes off for 4 homers.
Swing and a drive, deep to left. He's done it 4 times.
And Denzel Clark makes a catch of the year.
Brady makes another catch.
Oh my God!
Highlights, headlines, and what's next? Fox 5 and the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network are covering the bases with the A's.
What's up, baseball fans? Welcome to the first ever Vegas show devoted strictly to athletics baseball. This is Covering the Bases with the A's. I'm Mike Davis here alongside Kevin Bollinger. Kevin, what's on deck?
All right, here is the batting order for today's show. Opening day almost here. We're going to break down the A's series with the Toronto Blue Jays. Also, we have a preview of the pitching staff as well as the offense. And later on, we're taking you to Aviators Media Day. Plus, Mike Allen delivers another green and gold countdown. But first, opening day is here. The Yankees and Giants kick things off on Wednesday night, and on Thursday, 11 opening day games went down. But the guys in green and gold will kick things off on Friday in Toronto.
And the boys have arrived in Canada. It'll be a tough test to kick off 2026 as the A's look to assert their dominance against the reigning AL champions.
And when the A's take the field for the first time this season, they'll be doing so with a new patch as the 2026 season marks the 125th anniversary of the Athletics.
Yeah, founded in 1901 as one of the 8 original American League franchises, the commemorative patch will be worn all season long on both the white and gray jerseys. And if you take a close look, you'll see that the patch honors every chapter of the Athletics history from Philadelphia and Kansas City to Oakland and Sacramento. And before things kick off tomorrow in Toronto, the party is getting started right here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, as the A's celebrate opening day with their 4th annual Take Me Out to Vegas event at Circa Resort and Casino. A true party for A's and baseball fans with big screens and stadium goodies served up all day long. But the true treat? Athletics legend Dave Stewart in the house to throw out the ceremonial first pitch.
100%, and he talked about the potential of this young A's team as they prepare for game number 1.
This team has gone through a lot in their young experiences. I mean, this was a team a few years ago that lost 100 games back-to-back seasons. And those experiences are either you're going to learn from them or you're going to wallow in them. This team has learned from them. Mark Kotsay is a good manager, a great manager for this group of kids. They play hard for him. These kids love to play. People have told them in past that they couldn't, and they continue to get it done. And now they're at a place where I think they're ready to make that next step.
The expectations are starting to build around this A's team as the young core has a year under their belts. The A's head into the season with an optimistic outlook.
And Bolte drives out to deep right field. Bowen's going back, still going at the wall, and Bolte has left the building.
The A's break spring training with some buzz internally and externally. This team has been in a slow build, increasing in win totals from 50 in 2023 to 69 in 2024 to 76 last year. With young players continuing to step up and some new pieces being put in place, there's optimism that this A's team could be in contention for a playoff spot when we get to the back end of the season.
Yeah, a lot of excitement. We're confident in the guys we have. We like the fact that a lot of guys kind of know they're going to be here long term. We like the improvements we made over the course of last year and the way guys grew as individuals, and we kind of came together as a team and learned how to win games late in the year there, so we're excited about it.
The delivery of the 1-1, and it's a high fly ball left field. 50 back on it, Soderstrom nearing the track.
The outfield will feature Tyler Soderstrom in left, Denzel Clark in center, and Lawrence Butler in right. Butler is coming back from an off-season surgery for a torn patella tendon in his right knee. And while he's been getting a ton of work in during spring training, he just returned to game action last week. But Butler says he will be good to go.
I will be ready for opening day, and rehab is going pretty good. Been doing a lot of work with the trainers. They've been doing a great job, getting me back healthy and getting my legs back strong.
And it's Kurtz who swings and lifts in the air to left. At the wall! Back to back to back!
The infield has a ton of depth, strong bats, and a ton of power. Nick Kurtz begins his first full season in the big leagues at first base. Former Met and Las Vegas 51 star Jeff McNeil gets the nod at second after an offseason trade. Jacob Wilson settles back in at short, and Max Muncy is expected to get the nod at third. Catcher Shea Langoliers likes the bats on this team.
Simply put, I think this team is a really good hitting team. We're going to hit. I think we're gonna have better execution this year when it comes down to runner on second, no outs, getting a guy over, guy on third, less than 2 outs, getting him, scoring, stuff like that. It's just another year of experience. So I think we're gonna hit, and then we're also gonna execute better.
There's a 2-2 pitch from Savali. That swung on and missed. Down he goes.
The question mark will be the pitching staff, getting starters to go deeper in games and getting effective bullpen outings. The A's made some moves during the winter to strengthen the rotation to allow some of the younger pitchers to mature. Overall, manager Mark Kotsay says he thinks that this team is in position to keep building.
We try to look at last season and the last 2 months to be able to kind of prepare ourselves for what we should be able to accomplish. And, in all of our minds, that should be a winning baseball team this year. And those are the challenges. We have to be better in all facets of the game. For the last 2 seasons, 3 seasons, we've improved our record. And it gets more challenging when you talk about every win gets harder from 76 to getting to 87, 88. That's a challenge, and yet we're excited about that challenge and we're ready for it.
Double-A San Antonio. Now there's a deep drive to right center field. That ball is not coming back.
The A's will have work to do to leapfrog some tough teams in the AL West. The Mariners are loaded once again, while the Astros and Rangers look to step forward as well. Last season's final wild card team had 87 wins. If the Athletics can make that big of a jump, there will be meaningful games in September in the race for the postseason.
All right, great stuff there, Kev. So let's break this team down right now. We all know the true X factor is going to be pitching, from the staff to the bullpen. Pitching's really going to determine their ceiling this season, but let's take a closer look at the offense for a second. So once again, a very loaded lineup, a lot of depth. Who do you think is going to be the biggest key on the offensive side of things for this team this year?
Well, it's not really a big surprise that I think the 2 keys are the top 2 vote getters in last year's Rookie of the Year voting, Jacob Wilson and Nick Kurtz. Now, Wilson is the key to getting on base. Kurtz the key to knocking them in. Last year, Wilson not only hit .311, but he had a .355 on base percentage. And this key stat, Wilson only struck out 39 times in 486 at-bats. We all know what Kurtz did on his way to the Rookie of the Year, but this second season going to be interesting to watch. He now has seen most major league pitchers, but teams also have a book on him. Kurtz told me in spring training that he will continue to stay the course with his study habits and translate them to his plate appearances. And if those two have big years once again, then the A's will make some noise.
Yeah, and although they're just in year 2, I think it's 100% Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson's team. I think the A ceiling is really just going to be determined by just how great Kurtz and Wilson develop to be. But let's just say they do their thing and they reach their potential like we're all hoping, right, Kevin? Well, then, to me, it comes down to Tyler Soderstrom and Lawrence Butler to reach their potential. If that happens, then we're in big business here, because Soderstrom signed a 7-year, $86 million deal. Butler signed a 7-year, $65 million deal. That means GM David Forst and this A's organization, they truly believe in these young guys. So if either one of those guys pop, heck, imagine if they both do, then the A's are easily going to have not one of the best lineups in baseball, but perhaps the best lineup in all of baseball. All right, guys, on deck, we're serving up a pitching preview for you. That's when Covering the Bases with the A's returns.
And Hey, before we hit the break, let's get in some trivia. Of course, the A's have had a ton of stars through their history. More than 100 of their players have repped the green and gold in the All-Star game, but only one has been awarded an All-Star game MVP. So I'm going to narrow this one down for you a bit. This guy played on those great late 80s teams. Was it Jose Canseco, Ricky Henderson, Mark McGwire, or Terry Steinbach? We're going to have the answer right after this.
You're watching Covering the Bases with the A's.
And we're back with an answer to our trivia question. Who is the only player who won the All-Star Game MVP award as a member of the Athletics? The answer is Terry Steinbach, the longtime catcher. Terry made 3 All-Star games with the A's, and his first one, 1988, he was in the starting lineup with his teammates, Big Mac, Canseco, and Ricky, A, B, and C there. But none of those other guys drove in any runs that game. In fact, Steinbach drove in both of the American League's runs in that game, including a home run off of maybe the best pitcher in baseball at the time. That was Dwight Gooden. The AL won the game because of Steinbach, 2-1.
The A's have some buzz around them based on their offensive expectations, but whether they can keep moving forward and get into the playoff conversation is likely going to come down once again to pitching.
It's going to be back-to-back home runs here.
Pitching will make or break every team in Major League Baseball.
A high fly ball to deep right center field, and just how far is it gonna go?
The A's admittedly had struggles with their arms last year, a high team ERA and the 3rd most walks issued in baseball. They went through a lot of players trying to find what worked and who worked, and manager Mark Kotsay says that has been the jumping off point for this season.
The pitching obviously was better in the second half. We're going to build on that. Understanding how the ballpark plays. It's obviously different than where we were the previous season. That being said, I think our guys got more comfortable with it and understand it a little bit better.
Catcher Shea Langeliers had the best seat in the house to see the roller coaster of results from the bump. He agreed with Kotsay that things did improve, and he thinks the tide is turning.
If you kind of just look back at the second half of last year, I think a lot of guys stepped up, a lot of guys took steps forward. So I think that's exciting. Obviously, we brought in some veteran guys that are going to help along the way, that have had a lot of success around the league, and just the veteran presence for the younger guys too. So I think we're definitely taking steps forward, and I'm excited where we're at.
Strike 3, the breaking ball backs up, and Severino a 1-2-3 5th inning.
The rotation will be anchored once again by Luis Severino, and they also picked up Aaron Savali to bolster things. The A's added Mark Leiter Jr. to the bullpen, and if you mix in some young arms in the system that will have some of them with the big league club and some of them starting with the Aviators, there's hope that the arm issues of the past are gone.
The young arms that we are looking towards our future, Gage Jump, Jamie Arnold, just to name 2, we're hopeful that these kids can continue to mature and have impact with our pitching staff. But you can't look past Luis Morales, JT Ginn, Jacob Lopez, those 3 kids. Really, they're still starting their journey as big leaguers and starting pitchers. So pitching takes time. We're aware of that, but we're hopeful that we can continue to progress it.
De Jesus strikes out Dungan.
It's expected that at some point in the season, most, if not all, will get innings in the big leagues. Will there be some bumps along the way? Absolutely. Could they help the A's enough to increase the win total? Indeed. And will all of that lay the foundation for the pitching staff to be a key cog of some young, talented A's teams by the time they reach Las Vegas in 2028? No question. Patience provides progress. The speed of all of that is the unknown.
All right, coming up, we're taking a trip to the farm. Mariah Janos has an Aviators season preview for us.
We had a fantasy baseball draft this week. A's players were, of course, a hot commodity. I was able to land their star catcher, Shea Langeliers. Now, the A's have had a lot of success producing good catchers through their history. Two of them kick off my official list of the top 50 athletics of all time in this week's Green and Gold Countdown. Numbers 50 and 49 in our Green and Gold Countdown are a couple of catchers from rural backgrounds who made it in the big city. We'll start with Wally Shang, who grew up on a farm getting strong forearms, which he used to hit over 300 6 times in his career. He broke into the league in 1913 for a pennant-winning Philadelphia Athletics team. He played in the World Series, and as a rookie, he was the best player on the field, leading all players in home runs, walks, and runs batted in. That helped the Athletics win their 3rd World Series in 4 seasons. Shang had a few more great seasons for the A's before going to Boston and winning a championship there, and then to the Yankees, where he won another World Series, meaning he's won 3 World Series with 3 different franchises. No one's ever done that more times than he did. Next, number 49, Terry Steinbach from rural Minnesota, a 9th-round draft pick by the A's, a steal. He made 3 All-Star teams with the A's, including winning the MVP of the '88 All-Star Game, and he played in 3 World Series. He was up for the challenge of the postseason, hitting .281 over 25 games with 14 RBI, including leading all players in RBI in the '89 World Series, a win against the Giants. And he had longevity. He hit more home runs than any catcher in A's history. For all that, Steinbach was inducted into the A's Hall of Fame a couple years ago. So I mentioned Steinbach was a 9th-round draft pick. If you're wondering where Shang was taken in the draft, well, there was no draft back then in the 1910s. In fact, it actually didn't start until more than 3 decades after Shang retired from baseball. The very first draft pick ever was actually made by the Athletics. And next week, we're going to meet him in Green and Gold Countdown.
Coming off one of the most successful seasons in franchise history, which included a PCL championship, the Las Vegas Aviators are ready to run it back with a loaded squad.
Here is Lavastida, first pitch swinging, drives one high and deep out to right center. Back on it, Mesa, it is gone!
The Aviators are ready to get back to business.
And I'm excited. I think we have a really good youth. We got some older guys that are coming in, also trying to, make their way back up there. So it's a hungry group, and I'm ready to play.
The theme of the Athletics farm system in 2026, depth. It's a word you will hear often this season, as this ball club has talent coming from every direction.
When you look around the clubhouse, there's a lot of talented players, across the board. So I'm just excited, So to be able to have that much depth is awesome for a AAA team, and be able to go out and start a year like that. It's where the expectation of winning a lot of games comes in.
Specifically at the AAA level, this Aviators roster features 10 players who spent at least part of last season with the Athletics. And once you get a taste of life at the bigs, you're itching to go back. And that is what is driving every individual in this clubhouse.
We got a really good team, especially pitching. Our pitching's really good. We got a lot of good hitters. I mean, a lot of this team, like you said, has been in the big leagues. And so, they know what it takes to get back to the big leagues. And everybody wants to win, but, everybody wants to get back to the big leagues. And to get back to the big leagues, you need to play here. And if everybody plays really well here, we're going to win a lot of games. So it's everybody's got a similar mindset.
So it's safe to say manager Fran Riordan is more than happy with the group he's working with to kick off the 2026 season.
I love our roster. You look up and down the line, position players all over the infield and outfield. There's a really nice combination of power and speed and athleticism. And these guys really performed in spring training, and a couple of them earned spots, a couple of them really opened the major league staff's eyes to who they are as players and who they could be. Pitching-wise, we have a lot of really good young arms in the rotation, and then we have some veterans down in the bullpen that have significant major league experience, and we're excited to start the year.
The Aviators are opening up the season with a 9-game homestand hosting Salt Lake City, followed by Oklahoma City.
Can the Blue Jays continue their elite play from last season, and how will the A's stack up? Kevin and I are breaking it down. Everything opening day in the first series of 2026. That's when Covering the Bases with the A's returns.
This is a great day for Las Vegas.
Las Vegas
has proven itself to be a great sports town and a great host to professional franchises.
It's an epic moment for our 124-year-old franchise. 2028, we have opening day out here on the Las Vegas Strip. 3, 2, 1.
A's fans get priority access to purchase season tickets in Las Vegas for just $19.01.
Now current A's season ticket members, Aviators season ticket holders, as well as Clark County residents who secure their spot on the priority access list will receive purchase priority ahead of the general fan. For more information, you can visit athletics.com/Vegas.
All right, Kevin, so a tough test to kick off opening day in the 2026 season as the A's are on the road taking on the reigning AL champions in Toronto.
Yeah, the Athletics looking to start the year strong against one of the most complete teams in the league. Let's take a closer look at that 3-game series. Opening day gears up on Friday with first pitch set for 4:07. A's ace Luis Severino taking the mound against the Blue Jays' Kevin Gausman. And then on Saturday, the lefty Jeffrey Springs faces off against Dylan Cease.
Yeah, and to round out the 3-game weekend series, Sunday is a morning affair with the first pitch set for 10:37 a.m. Luis Morales will take the mound for the A's. Eric Lauer for the Blue Jays. So, of course, the Blue Jays are trying to recapture that magic they experienced last season as AL champions, and they were so close, Kev, losing an epic 7-game World Series against the supercharged LA Dodgers. So, Kevin, how do you think they're going to stack up in this key opening series to the 2026 season?
Well, the A's pitching certainly going to get an early test. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. looking to get off to a hot start after a sizzling bat in the playoffs last year. Don't sleep on Dalton Varsho of Toronto. Yeah. Many think that center fielder poised to have a breakout year. From the A's standpoint, though, this is where their offensive firepower coming out of the spring training, usually pitchers ahead of the hitters. Can the hitters get off to a fast start?
All right, guys, and guess what? You can watch opening day right here on Fox 5.
Cheer on the A's in the season opener on Friday. First pitch set for 4 o'clock. You can catch the game live on Fox 5.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Go A's!